Test. Okay. Hmm. All right. All right. We're all set. I understand this. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. We'll just see how it does, I guess. Oof. I like just got out of bed, so. So a little bit of a slow morning for us today, but we're getting there. Ooh. Let me get some music going. Spotify. All right, that should be good. The last thing I was working on was adding, why is it rebuilding everything? What's up, Gingate? Yeah, I don't know if I have any specific objectives. I have a task list for this patch, so we're just kind of going through that. Right now I'm doing status effects. I'm splitting them up so they do different stuff depending on if it's applied to a player or a monster. So I'm kind of like almost done with that. So for monsters, it'll be percentage of health, and then players will just be a flat damage amount. Because the problem I was having was that status effects aren't useful for players because status effects aren't useful for players because they don't do enough damage to monsters. So I ended up splitting them up, and I'm kind of designing them a little bit to be a little bit different. Like poison right now, it'll stack up to 100. Once it hits 100 stacks, it'll do 5% of the monster's total max health, I think. And then burn will do some percentage of their current health. And then bleed will make them vulnerable, and then also do a little bit less percentage of their current health. Dun, 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 dun. So we'll do that first, and then this I don't think I can do at all. So we did this already. I just need to finish the UI for this. And then I'm gonna leave poison. I changed these to not do lethal damage for players. So it's that, and then that's pretty much this one as well. Dun, dun. Once this finishes building, of course. I tried doing this like mobile, like YouTube, you can have it split up and do stream to like both phones and then also computers. I tried that this time, but it like auto crops the stream, and it doesn't look very good. So I don't know. Let me show you the poison though. So the poison now stacks up here. Every time you apply poison, it adds to the total, and then it just decays over time. And then once it gets to 100, or I think I'm gonna have it like cap out at 99 display wise. Once it gets to 100 or higher, it like pops all the poison at once, and then does 5% of their total health. Oh, a little worried it might be too powerful in big groups, but we'll see. There it goes. I need to do that, and then I need to also make sure it's visible. Where's my to-do list? Yeah, maybe it should do less percentage health. It's just a matter of how big the group is, I guess. But also when there's more people, the health of the monster scales up. I wonder if I should do it based off of the monster's pre-scaled health. Maybe that's the solution. Yeah, there was that, and then there's also there was one other thing I wanted to do. Cap the display. Oh, I also need to display the damage. It's kind of hard because I guess I could change how it operates. Like I could have the clients approximate how much damage they do, maybe. We'll do that. All right, let's cap the poison display. That's kind of the last thing I was working on before I stopped yesterday. Right now I'm just hard coding. If it's a poison, I'm gonna just display the number. But in the future, I might make it like a configurable setting. Yeah, we'll just do a cap. We'll do a minimum of count and 99. Yeah, it's a hard thing to show though, because the server never really tells the client when something gets hit. Bum, 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 bum. Like all the client receives from the server is that the status effect went away. It doesn't really know why though. Dun, 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 dun. Hmm. It doesn't really know why though. That's fine. All right, we fixed that issue, I guess. I guess that's the last thing we have to do. This is also a problem for like bleed. Like this guy can be bleeding, but he's losing health over time, but it's not showing. Or is he? He doesn't actually look like he is. This is really hard to see. Let's go to something stationary. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But it doesn't show as like bleed damage. But I guess I could approximate it. For those ones, it's easy because I can just have the client say like, oh, it received this much damage. Oh, it received this much damage. It's just hard for the poison effect. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum-dum-dum. Hmm. Actually, I might just have to run. I might just be able to run the status tick. But I guess this is finished. Let's review this really quick. Oops. Do you? Yeah, we changed this one to add. Now the poison adds together. That's the player one. This is the new monster tick. Because I think I'll do like apply damage, and it'll be for a remote object, so it's just gonna predict the health. That's kind of planning. This is just displaying it. That's the server adding a status effect. The tick changed the function. What's that? Okay. I mean, all this looks fine. Yeah, I think for now we'll switch to 1% of max health. There's two things. It's because it's not really clear to me how fast this is gonna pop with a lot of people with poison weapons. If a lot of people have poison weapons, I mean, I could make it decay faster, and I could make it stack slower if I wanted to pop less often though. So it's either that, or I could keep it as an individual thing. So it's you have to stack to 100 yourself. But it's kind of fun. I think it's interesting to have more people using poison, like be a little bit of a synergy. I don't know though. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, we'll do 1% for now, and we'll leave it at that. And then we'll just have to balance this stuff eventually. Okay. Added special status effects for monsters. Okay, the next thing we want to do is on the client, we want to be able to predict the damage that's going to happen. I think this is the visual part though. Who listens for this event? I think it's just on the client game. Handlers. I mean, I must have something like register. Oh, it's an event queue. It's not. That's because it's not an individual listener. I see. Yeah, client this. Those are all ads. Except for this one. Oh, this is where we set it. Okay. But here we get all the damage events and we play them all. And this is just for visualizing. Okay, perfect. So all we have to do then is, I'm pretty sure apply damage doesn't. I guess it does. I need to differentiate monsters versus non-monsters for the client, because the client needs to predict the damage, and then it converges. Though this prediction is probably going to be pretty accurate. It's just kind of hard to time it exactly right, but it's every status effect tick that it should happen, I guess. So we know what we'll do. We'll just have another query. We'll do without. Oops. We'll do that. We'll say is local players always false. Query non-player. I guess it just assumes that. Okay. We'll look for two component. No, we actually have to put that up here, don't we? Yeah, so we'll filter ones that don't have the player tag, the local player tag, or the remote player tag. That should be all of the non-players. And then for each of those, we'll run the tick status non-player. And this will be for monsters, basically. What's up, Asriel? How's it going? How are you doing today? I wonder if my damage event right now I think I have a way to show critical. I wonder if I can show like a symbol of what sort of damage type it was, like if it was bleed or something. That'd be kind of cool, I think. I think this should kind of work though. I think that the health is going to be predicted wrong. So we'll have to clean that up, but let's see it. Let's see what this does, and if it doesn't do something, we'll fix it. It'd be cool to show an icon next to it like I do for crits and backstabs. And then I think that the health is going to be wrongly predicted, but it's not that big of a deal, I guess, for now. Like ideally want the client to have the best estimate of the monster's health. It's just hard because other things are damaging the monster, so the client never has the perfect prediction of the monster's health. It usually has like a delayed prediction. All right. Okay, I mean, like that worked, I guess. Let's do fire. Yes, that's the fire tick. And then poison obviously doesn't do anything. I'm curious what this is gonna do when I get to 100. Shoot, I wasn't watching. What happened? Frick. All right, we'll just do it again. Maybe I should decrease the number to be like 10 or something. I swear it like turned, I saw something yellow. Yeah, what's up here? How I'm doing poison, it stacks to 99 and then it pops for 1% of their max HP. I think that's what I'm gonna do for that one. I'm just gonna watch the numbers. Fives. Oh, no way. And then I get a phase change? You'd be kidding me. All right, I'll try it again. It didn't do damage, did it? I didn't see anything. It did damage on the server. It's hard because I'm looking at the health bar up here, and I'm also trying to look at the number that pops up here. The server is definitely applying the damage. I just don't know if the client's showing a number, if that makes sense. I'm trying to get the client to show the correct number. So. Also, I think 1% is not high enough. I think I'm gonna make it 2%. All right, I'm watching fives, 10. Yeah, I saw like a 60. So the number did pop up. The problem is that it's not really themed. Like I want to see a number that shows the icon and the, I want to show the icon of the effect plus the number, I think. Also make this 2%. Also, yeah, I think I'm making these just too good in general. I think because this is going to do like 46 damage on that monster. But I feel like for end game, that's not an enormous amount of damage to do. Well, I'm not going to worry about balance too much right now. If things are too strong, people are going to tell me and I'll make it weaker. But yeah. So let's theme, I guess let's theme these so they pop up a little bit more clearly. Instead of these booleans, I'm going to make a, can you do critical backstab? Because right now I have a bunch of bools that kind of mark different types. I don't know how I interpret it though. Like, can I show two things or it prioritizes one over the other? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's one or the other. So we'll make a damage type, I think. And we'll pass that through. I'll just make it a U and 8, I guess. I don't really know the prioritization that I'm going to do. Critical. Well, technically this should be none. That'll show no symbol, just show the number. That'll be a critical. We have a backstab. We have it if it's intangible. Boom, boom, boom. We have if it's dodged, which actually I don't know if that one. Let me just see here. Critical backstab. I'm trying to think of like how these can be combined. It does kind of feel though like how could you get like I feel like intangible overrides other things or like dodge overrides other things. But I don't want to combine them all into one type and then get it like have to make like intangible dodge. I'm just going to combine it. And if I need to split them off, I'll split them off. Because I'm pretty sure I only see, I know it's two different if statements, but this is like change color. This is like change sprite. So I'll just combine that logic. These are just passing through. Okay. Ba-da-bum-bum. I'm gonna throw this up here. What's up, Jack? How's it going, buddy? Dun, 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 dun. I'm also fine. It is freezing cold here in Florida right now. It's hard though, because these are all like sourced from different things. I'm just gonna make them all Booleans because it's all separate checks technically. And I have to check them anyways. Visually though, I'll just have to I'm just gonna manually override and decide what I want. Okay. Yeah. 3F? Jeez. It's like 40 here. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. What do we need to do? It poison. The problem is like these are. I mean, it's only a bite. I don't know why I care that much. Poison, bleed. Because you can do like critical bleeds and stuff. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know if that's a thing I'll ever do. So, burn. Cool. Okay. We'll add those. And then in here, or we need to go to status, the status tick function. And for all these damage events, we just need to add the right type. So this is a bleed true. Burn true. Poison true. What is this? Bleed? Yeah, bleed. Burn. Poison. Okay. Then on the receiving side of this event, we'll build the damage number bundle. Bleed. Burn. Poison. Burn, burn, poison, poison. Okay. And then when we draw this, we can go through these functions. I'm just gonna clean this up a bit. This is a super old function. Bum, 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 bum. Critical. You know, I'm gonna do this for one section. I'll do damage color above it. Okay. I don't know where I got these colors from. But I might try to look them up from our colors package. So a little bit more bum, 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 bum. I'll go ahead and mark this at the top. That way everybody can change the color depending on what they are. This is the dodge color. It's just weird though, because then if you're dodge and critical, it's like It's a critical dodge. I'll change, set the color there. All right. Dun, dun. This I can hoist up here. I don't like how sloppy this is, but I don't really have a good way to construct this object. So I guess it kind of is what it is. All right, so we'll prioritize critical, then backstab, then intangible. Do I have invulnerable? What happens if you're invulnerable? It gets marked as dodge, maybe? I might want to do invulnerable as well. But I think I want to do an icon for all of these. Is this logic exactly the same? Let me delete this. Hold on. Why are these different? Divided by 2. With plus that. So this one divides 2 by the sprite and the icon, where sprite is the sprite text. I just realized I could have been testing this on the dummies in the town. We're likely gonna have to, is this my plugin? It's not, okay, that's fine. Let's get an icon damage file. Probably in static tagged icon damage. I'm gonna take some of the status effects as well. Did not copy. I need a, oh my gosh, what is that number? Oh, because it's percentage of health, and that thing has enormous health. I need a backstab weapon. Do these have backstab? Yeah. It's weird that the symbols look right, but they're like, critical backstab. Oh, I rotate it. I rotate Z here. That's probably why this is different. Okay. The only downside is I can't see the numbers. I need to have a cap. I need to have like a damage cap on how much it does. Look at this. What's the damage number? It's funny because they're actually losing health. Because I think I set them to like a max int 32 or max int 64 or something. I'm gonna go while this is going. They should pop a shield right when they get low health, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. But I need to go. I'm gonna make another cup of coffee. I'll be right back while this runs. Ooh, just in time. Oh, burn does a percentage of their I guess poison does as well. It does a percentage of their current health, so it'll be decreasing. So it never really reaches it, technically. So that was kind of a bust, I guess. Anyways. Okay. Yeah, we need to make sprites for these. Hold on. That'll be the burn sprite. And then I'm probably gonna change these a little bit. What was the other one? Oh yeah, intangible. And then invulnerable. There's also bleed, I think I did do. Bum, bum, bum. Where's bleed? I'm gonna do just the one. Did you do all the sprites by yourself? Not all of them, but I've done a lot of them. I've done most of them. I did white. I guess I did that. Okay, that's fine. I want this to be small. It might just be too large. No, maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. Okay. Let's tag these. Vulnerable. I'm gonna go ahead and move these just to the end. Okay. All right, now we have status effect, damage amounts. At least for the ones we support, so. Burn, poison, intangible, and vulnerable bleed. Okay. All right, let's go code these up next. So if it's hard because I really just want to have like this common code block here. I'd love for it to be common, but I don't really have a good way to customize it, I guess. Because it's like every sprite might have its own little tweak that needs to happen. And not all of them. The one that's just tricky is this rotation for the backstab. But maybe I could generalize most of them to this, and then let's try to generalize most of them to this. We'll just make a little function. What does this give me? A client.sprite, I guess. Oh, it's already a pointer. All right, let's do that. Oh, it just refilled it went to full health, I guess. It has maybe it hits a percentage, it goes to full health. Maybe that's what I did. Less cool. I probably just added because it's technically a monster. It just acts like it's got its own state machine. So there's probably just some transition where it goes back to full health if it ever gets to 0. So, or if it ever gets low, I mean. Okay. So then we can do add damage icon, add damage icon sprite, b.load sprite, and then sprite name. We don't have invulnerable as one yet, but we'll add that eventually. Bleed. What else was there? Burn. And poison. Obviously, we'll have to change the sprite colors, but let's just see the sprite's image showing up first, and then we'll do the coloring. It's hard though because poison and green kind of indicates health, but maybe with the poison icon, it'll look like poison damage. Also, I don't remember. Maybe I do a plus when someone heals, like I do plus something. Okay, well, there's the burn icon. That's kind of nice. Also, I hate that sprite. It looks terrible, but let's do bleed first. Okay, the bleed icon's fine. I should see the poison one. What did it clear? Why is it flat? I don't understand why it went away. It's like I'm not getting any poison stacks or something on this guy. Let me just go here so we can see the number. Because he's got a boss health bar. 30. Frick, I wasn't even watching. I didn't see anything though. I didn't see like a big number. It probably is going to show up red though. Man, I did not see it. That's weird. Poison. Huh. That's weird. Okay. I guess let's do the color changes. I mean, I feel weird making it same color as heal, but that's kind of the color is probably going to be something like that. These ones are already red. I can maybe make this more of an orange. Where does this go to? RGBA, all right. Or do I have like a color for intangible? What's going on? This should be a purple. Colors, purple. Maybe 3, I don't know. I'm gonna do red 4 for that. Okay. I don't know what color this is. Let's just see. FACB. I don't have a color for it. Dodge DA86. That is red 5. Dodge is a red 5. All right, what color is color heel green? 97DA. Right, we don't have a green for that. That's fine. Okay, except for poison. The other ones are showing up, and I think this one's just something's wrong with the whatever. This one needs an icon. Let's go ahead and add invulnerability as well as a marker. I bet I set it on dodge. I must have something that checks invulnerable. What happens? It just splats the thing, maybe. Thanks you, Chai Excel, for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Welcome. I don't know. Where do I pipe invulnerability? I might do it. I might not do it anywhere in here. That would mean I do it on the physics collision check. That'd be weird, though. Why would I do that? Just lurking? Yeah, you're more than welcome to lurk. Feel free. Shielded. This might be checking invulnerability. Yeah, okay. Yes, we'll check invulnerability this way. The only problem is we registered the hit here. Like, I mean, we return here. I'm just gonna emit a special event for this one case. All right, I'll just leave this note here for myself. So it's always going to be false here, because if we're invulnerable, then we will mark invulnerability on this one. And I guess I'll just keep these because these kind of are already set. Like if it's a critical or not. I don't know why I care, but it is technically more correct to have these as well, because these come from the damager object, like the projectile. All right. Okay, that should work. I'm gonna compile this, get my coffee real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Coffee acquired. Backstab works. That's kind of too bright, I think, for the burn. What's the other one? Bleed. Yeah. Because that's like almost a dodge color. So we'll use red for... That's fine. And then poison we need to test as well. What's up, Jen? How's it going, buddy? Let's check out burn really quick. Then we'll go check out poison. That's good burn color, I think. So it should be a green color, but I think last time it wasn't showing up at all, so I don't know what's going on. It's hard though, because it could never show up on the client if it's... No, could it? I'm trying to think here. Oh, it did show up. It just kind of showed up behind it. I just wonder if there's the case where the status effect gets set to being over 100 on the server. And then the server clears it immediately and then sends back the status effect to 0, and the client never knows that it got above 100. Like there, I don't think it showed. It sucks to have this whole like recording thing set up. I don't have like a way to look at back at my recording though. Well, I think that is a problem though. Like it makes sense that it would be. Like essentially what can happen is the server like the server detects that this new status effect gets applied to the monster, then the server clears it and applies the damage and sends back that the status effect is now 0. And the client never sees that the status effect went above 100. So like a little bit of a race condition of whether or not the client gets the right data to show the poison damage splat. I don't really have a good solve for this though, unfortunately. I'm trying to think of one though. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we tracked those correctly. We had these fields. Oh, we didn't check invulnerability or intangibility. Let's look at those really quickly. Like, I think because I'm on 0 ping, it probably is more likely that this is going to show. But I think when I deploy it, it's not going to show for like anybody. Does this guy gain intangibility? I don't even know if he does. Yeah, I mean, it showed there. Let's go to Awakened. Okay, cool. So the intangibility is showing up correctly. Oh, he never gains a shield, does he? I thought he did. Maybe he only does intangible, though. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, it's showing the full damage number. I think I know what's going on. Okay. If you're invulnerable, I'm going to change the amount. I want to change the text, I think. I could either do like this, or I could do this. I don't know. Let's try invuln. Blue 5, 4 maybe. Maybe 5. Let's try 5. Okay. All right, who gains a shield? I think Cool Crab actually has a shield, so we can test this pretty quickly. Oh, he doesn't? Oh, I changed his fight. That's what it was. I think halfway through he pops his shield. Okay. No, it's still showing. Oh, I'm not passing it through. Invulnerable. That's a hard word to type. Okay, we passed it through correctly, and then this is just all the changes for how we display it. So we'll stage all of that. I think the number 0 showing up would be too confusing. I think writing the word invuln probably makes sense. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Though it's really hard to tell the color because this is I don't like the criticals showing up. I think I want invulnerability to... Yeah, we need to just change the order of these. Oh, you need a color. Oh, the color gets set above, doesn't it? Okay. Oops. All right, invulnerable, intangible. I'll go ahead and just put this here. I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 down here as well. Just so all the colors are there. All right, so we have invulnerable as the highest priority, intangible, then dodged. And then critical is over backstab, is over bleed. Well, these are all status effects. They're kind of not combined. I think I'd rather show critical over a backstab. So just the character X instead of the number. I think I like the invuln text. I think that makes sense when people see it. Okay. I do want to test the colors though. The problem with Cool Crab Grotto is everything's blue lit. So boom, boom, boom. So it's hard to see what the blue looks like. Let's go to... Actually, I think there's a shielded person here. Yeah, that looks good. I can maybe do a light. I can maybe do a darker blue. Those are the other blue looks like. Dun, 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 dun. That looks good. That looks perfect. Perfection. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Can't get distracted. Okay, we just have the improved damage number pop-ups. Let's do that. Okay. We just have the one bug with the status tick function for the poison detection on the client. Right now, this is the same code that runs on the server. What are your goals for the next few weeks? My main goal is to get the final tier 5 biomes reworked. So I'm going to rework the tier 5 biomes. I want to add a new tier 5 biome and maybe clean up a few major bugs. Like I think there's been some health desyncs. That and the status effect one was top of my list, and then after that it's going to be balance tweaking, I think, for a little while. I also want to add like an event overlay thing to the sphere, so there's like more, because right now there's dungeons, you know, which are kind of like the meat of the content, but there's not that much in the sphere. It's more like kill these little bosses to get to the dungeon. So I'll add more like interesting events to the sphere. So I'm just going to be doing like passes through the game to like play through, take notes, decide things I want to add or change, and then change them. I mean, this isn't that big of an issue. I just worry that it's never going to show for anybody. I'm trying to think of how I can hack this so that it just works. Because the server can't really issue like, it tells the clients what the health currently is, but it doesn't issue like this damage was done by poison. Also, I think I'm gonna let me just, while we're thinking about this, I'm gonna redraw the fire. Where is it? What if you stored a synced damage by category table on the entity? Yeah, I mean, like right now, it's just all I send over is um like the current health of the monster. So all that the client ever receives is like, oh, this monster is now this health. But the client can kind of predict because they also get the status, like the status effects on the monster as well. So they can kind of predict that it's going to take damage. It's just that there's a race condition of whether or not they detect that it's taking poison damage before the server sends it or not, before the server wipes it, really. Where's Burn? Here. Boom, 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 boom. It's hard because it has this nice like gradient glow up. Mm-hmm. It's too gradiented, I think. I was hoping this would just turn out. It really doesn't look all that bad when you zoom out, but it doesn't really look great either. I do think this needs to curl through the bottom a little bit more. That might be good enough. Something like this. I'm just gonna do this and that. I think it looks better before, actually. All right, let's give that a shot. That looks pretty decent, actually. All right, let's use this one. I don't know if this will hot reload, so we'll just rebuild. I also want to get I want to get the player poison. I want to see the damage numbers on them just to make sure that that's working correctly as well. Yeah, that looks reasonable. Okay. We can go and just do the silted layer, I guess. There's also a bug. Oh, frick. I forgot that you can't be invulnerable to that. It's maybe a little bit too bright, but that's fine. Oh, I forgot that I have 2 set pieces in this. I completely forgot about that. Oh, these are all going to be cultist. There we go. That looks good. I'm content with that. So I'll probably make 2. I'll probably split that one into 2. One for the Dwarven and one for the Succubus and Demons. I don't know exactly what the theme of the... Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but... Okay. That stuff works. Oh, I wanted to write one thing down. I just remembered. There's a bug. Fighting Ice Golem in Frostvale. I upgraded A sprite, I guess. Like if you look at these JSONs, it's gonna be like A sprite version is 0.16. That's fine though. Okay. Sounds like it should be an event with delta and last value. Yeah, it's just like it's not. I'm trying to fit it into the system that I already have. I understand it's not like the most like the 100% correct way would be to like trigger an event or something like that, which I definitely could do. It's just like another networking thing that's got to be sent. So I'm trying to think of a way that I can do it without having to do that, I guess. Like I can certainly send a network event that says, hey, show this show like poison damage for this much. But I'm just trying to think if there's an easier way to do it. All right, let's fix this ice golem thing. Because I think I tested everything else except for the poison bug that we have still. We display damage, that's good. We need to fix this, and then we'll still note down poison client side detection of poison splat race condition. You explain networking. Is it TCP, UDP? I use WebRTC, which could resolve to TCP or UDP. It just depends on what the network allows them to access. What's up, Dozy? How's it going? And then I fall back to WebSockets, which is always TCP. Do you batch frames? I don't think I understand exactly what you mean by batch frames. I think this is the bug. He only shoots this one time. Bum, 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 bum. Health below, transition to 1. Next state 1. That's so strange. Is every event a separate message with its own? Oh, I do. It's all tick based. So the client has a rate at which it sends messages to the server, and the server has a rate at which it sends messages to the client. It's not like event based, if that makes sense. But you can put events in a message. It's just I can only send messages at certain intervals from the server to the client, and then everything gets smoothed on the client to like. So it's not looking jaggedy if there's some like delay in the last message to the next one. And I mostly just put every update that I can up to some size limit. And then if I can't, like if there's so many entities on screen that I can't send all of the data in the update, yeah, it's in batches, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Why isn't this coming back around? 1 to, then 2 goes to 2. We go to 3. Transition attack 1. Attack 1, next state 1. And I wouldn't worry about this poison thing, just dependent event. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of if there's a way to do it without it. Like I can certainly add something that sends in the next update. Like I can just attach some component to the entity that says like, hey, you took poison damage or something like that. It just like breaks up like the mental logic of how things work a little bit. But I mean, it's not like terrible. And then it's a question of like, do I just do it for every single status effect damage? Because right now the client's mostly able to predict these damage values. Can you show the damage event struct? I mean, I only have it, it's only internal. It just like marks how much damage and like booleans of whether or not it's different types of damage. That's not what I would send over the network though. That's just on the client. Wait, why isn't this cycling back around? But yeah, I can show you if you want to see over here. This is just for visualizing though. This is the damage event struct that I use internally. But it's mostly just for like emitting something on the client so that they can render it. What's up, Unforgivable? How's it going? Hello, hello. Is it a range thing? Like if I go away and come back? What is sent over the network? I just send the health, right? I send the health of the object, and then I send the map of status effects and the current value that the status effect is at. So I kind of send the like computed result. You actually already know me? I used to go on the stream semi-often before I left Twitch. Oh, do I? Well, thank you for the follow. Are you gonna give me any hints? Do I get a hint at least? Do you resemble a tree? Oh, never mind. I was guessing somebody else. Pissed amtresses? Sorry, I honestly I don't remember, but I appreciate you coming back. There's this other oh, matrices. Oh, actually I think I do remember that vaguely. I remember something matrices. I remember some like weird matrices thing. But huh. I like vaguely remember that. Yeah, so this guy's getting stuck, but why? State 1, state 2, state 3. He should be doing an attack and then coming back around, unless I'm in like the wrong one. Points, health below 0.7, phase 2. State 1. I'm genuinely like unsure of how this could ever not work. In phase 2, move room position. Well, it's the fact that this isn't cycling back. He's in phase 1. Man, that's a really bad drawing location, but he's in phase 1.3. So he's in this state. He did an attack. Bot target current position. He did this attack, but then he's not transitioning. He's supposed to transition after he does one attack to next state 1. It only goes to phase 2 when his health goes below 0.7. Unless, did I misread it? Then he goes to Snowflake 1.3. bum, 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 bum. Then he should go to 1. But I've been working on I worked on splitting up the status effects for monsters and players so they do like different stuff. I just finished doing that, and then I'm working on fixing this bug on this guy where he's like stopping his phase, and this is deployed too, so it means people are like, the first half of the fight is just like nothing. Is the distance on the first loop back to 1? What do you mean distance? Like he's getting stuck in this state for some reason. I don't know why. Default maintain distance. Yeah, like how this works, you can think of this as like a state machine tree. And so if he's in this state, then he's only executing this stuff. And we know he's in this state because he's phase 1.3. Phase 1.3. But we don't know. He should have done his attack and then seen this and then transitioned to state 1. This action is like maintain your distance to your target. So he tries to maintain between 180 and 200. It's not that far. It's like within 10 tiles. But it's a small window within 10 tiles. So he tries to get to that distance, if that makes sense. So he'll like try to get to like this far away or so. Like this is the circle that he tries to stay within. But sometimes I'll set this to like 180, 180. So it just like locks on one specific distance. This is so strange though. The thing I'm worried about though is that this is like some other bug. Like I'm worried it's a more serious problem. Unless it's something attached to this sort of sequencer. Well, he's shooting, but he's not. He's supposed to increment this attack thing. What if you comment this out? Nothing should change. Yeah, we could change the weapon type too. Or let me leave this in. So he's in phase 1 or phase 2. He jumps, slams. Phase 1.1, phase 2, phase 3. That was weird. Because he almost, it might have hot reloaded. Oh, now he's doing stuff. Hold on. Oh, now he's transitioning. Hold on, let me think. I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea of what the problem is. Because when a monster shoots a weapon, he tries to predict how long it's going to take to shoot that weapon, and then he uses that and attaches his cooldown to that duration. And so this sequencer is a new sequencer that I just built. And I wonder if there's a bug in how I estimate duration. Max duration 0. Let's do this. Delay times max duration. Sorry, let me just remind myself how this works. This is kind of a weird sequencer where it runs multiple sequencers in parallel. So like in my head, I thought in my head, I thought this, because I'm running multiple sequencers in parallel, I'll just take the one that lasts the longest. But when I run them in parallel, I apply my own delay, I think. Next delay, get. I wonder if these, oh, these have a delay in them. I see the problem now. What I should be doing, because what's going to happen is it's going to multiply this delay here, and then it's going to multiply here. But when I run this get, I get an attack. Add a delay to the first sequencer's attack. Oh, I see. Yeah, I add it to the first sequencer's attack, and then I... Hold on. Golang looks very confusing. This is just a confusing... Bullet hells are kind of confusing to build, and I did it in a terrible way at first, and then I'm kind of like stuck with the tech debt of it, so... This is just a poorly built subsystem of my game. Some of the stuff's built well. This is one of the things that's built not very well. It's just a hard thing to change now because like if I change it, then it impacts every single monster. And it's really hard to know like how to make it like perfectly flexible for all the stuff you need, but not super like daunting. How do you structure if you knew everything you do back then? That's the thing, is I don't even know if I would change it all that much. I'd have to like really sit down and think about it and think about all the weapons I've built and how to properly put them together. Like this is just one layer for how weapons spawn bullets. One thing I definitely would do is I would build a transform hierarchy earlier on, because it's really powerful to be able to like compose objects with sub objects and then like rotate the parent object and then have it rotate the children object, if that makes sense. Like you can compose a lot of bullet hell patterns that way. And then the code specifically for this is about how do you decide what attacks to spawn. So it's about composing like lists of attacks. So when you shoot like one ring, then you shoot another ring, then you shoot another ring. Like how do you like build that structure? And how it works is it basically just generates an iterator. It builds this attack iterator that gets run through every single frame. But it's hard, you know, because like sometimes you want to spawn something where you are, but then you want the thing to move away from it. So then you can't really like, now he's like detached from this thing that he spawned. What is the length of attack? This looks like the number of, I don't know if this is a generic. Oh yeah, this is the number of attacks that we have to loop through for the sequencer. It's like the length of the iterator, essentially. I think one solution is I could just take this length and multiply it by my delay. I'm just trying to remember how this was supposed to work, because right now I'm multiplying it twice. Maybe I just do that. I'll just do this, I guess. Hold on. I mean, technically, I think that this is correct. But it can be 0. Default should be... Yeah, so this sequencer is this is an interface of sequencers. Like this is the sequencer interface. And this is a sequencer that composes and runs multiple sequencers in parallel. So to calculate the length of this sequence, the outer sequencer, I set the total length to 0. Then I loop through every sequencer I have and find the one that lasts the longest. And that's the one that that's the one that like anchors the length of the simultaneous sequencer. And typically, like how this one gets composed is I have a left and a right, and these have the same exact length. Their count value is the same. This is a geometric sequencer, and it adds an offset to every single attack that gets generated from the iterator. So the bug is that I'm adding the delay here. I'm multiplying the delay here by the length of this, and then I'm multiplying it by the delay added by this one. It's like multiplying the delay twice. So it's like 12 times longer than what it should be. So the solution is I could just take the length of this sequencer, multiply it by the delay that I add, rather than using the one that it has. Because this technically gets overridden every single time. So it shouldn't be there, but it is for this one. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, the length could technically be 0 if it has 0 attack sequencers in it. It would be like a weapon that does nothing, which I do have, but is your game grid based? It's a tile map based game, but it's not grid based. Like some things are, like the collision map for walking is grid based, yeah, but everything else is not on a grid. Yeah, it's the list. It's like the length of the sequencer. And then I have a bunch of different sequencers. Like this one's for like adding a geometric offset to every single attack. So like I'm going to do this attack and I'm going to do it this many times with this delay between it. And then I'm going to offset it every single attack by this amount each time. That's how you do like twirls and spins and stuff like that, is you'll do something like this, right? And the attack can be anything. It could be a single shot. It could be a circle. It could be a fan. It could be like a laser beam. So you can build like pretty comprehensive stuff with just this pattern. But then for the snowflake pattern, I have to like compose 2 of these because I do one twirl in one direction and one twirl in the other direction. And they kind of like, it's kind of hard to explain. It's easier if I show what the result looks like. Let me go over there because we have to test it anyways, so. So it's this attack. See, it's like spinning in both directions. But it looks like it's kind of like snowflaking, if that makes sense. I have a newbie game dev question. Sure. I'm happy to try to answer it. I mean, it should transition now. Unless, do we change something in the state machine? We might have. Hold on. Okay, he did transition. It is lasting longer than I expect it to, I guess, but. Did I save this? Bum, bum, bum. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Then he should do his next attack. Let me try this. I'm just curious if I comment this out. S.delay. times s dot length. S dot length. Maximum. Yeah, and the length of this one is just the count. Okay. Oh, that is kind of, This overrides the attack delay as well. But when I do... Because I read it from the inner sequencer. And then I override the delay. Okay, so that does work technically. How do you match your tile grid math with a visual reference to determine math is actually right? How do you match your tile grid math with a visual reference to determine the math is actually right? I don't know exactly what you mean, but do you mean like converting world positions to grid tiles and stuff like that? One thing you can do that's easy is you can build like a little something that shows your cursor and calculates what tile it's on, and then drop your tile map in, maybe put some like really obvious tile sprites in to your tile map, and then you can just like move your cursor around and you'll see how like the tile number changes as you move around. So you have this world space position that your cursor is getting located to, and then you just like can calculate what tile it's on, and then you can visually reference to see if it's the right one. So I have an editor, I have like a level editor, and I have that in there, which is helpful, or it was helpful, and I don't really use it that much, but. Okay, I mean, let's see if this fixes it. I don't know why this would though. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Yeah, it's a little bit long. It almost feels like double. It almost feels like double the length. I'm curious to this one. What do I do here? Oops. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I do a super similar process for this one. The only difference is it uses an interp sequencer, but I also don't really know if this one's calculating it right either. But like the length of time to run this sequencer does seem like exactly what I would want it to be. It's essentially just this count, which is what's going to get returned by the length of that. Maximum. Yeah, we calculate the maximum length of all of the subsequencers, which should be count for geometric sequencers. That's our total length. We return that. Estimate duration. This times the delay between them. If length of s.list is less than or equal to 0, to where would you put that? What is that for? know. I don't know why I do that. I always do that though. It's like you could just do this, I guess. But I just always, I don't know why. It just feels, that's some NASA shit. It just feels safer. I don't know. It's really hard to explain why it feels safer, but it does. I don't know if there's, because it's technically an integer. It's like, I don't know why this would ever return a negative number, but I just don't know. Yeah, it's like, I may as well. While I'm here. It is funny though. I do think about that sometimes. I'm like, should I just do equals equals? I'm like, nah, I'll just catch the negative side too. Logic, I guess logically it feels more precise. I don't know. It's such a, I don't know. It is weird. Yeah, very much inspired by Realm of the Mad God. So there's definitely a lot of vibes in here from it. I mean, this is kind of working now, but if temperature can go below 0, why not lists? True. Very true. Boom, boom. Let's just experiment. I'm just gonna mess around with this. We'll do 0. Or no, sorry, we'll just do this. Hold on. 0 delay. I'm just curious if it times that correctly. We'll try to we'll just probe it and see where it fixes itself. And hopefully we can do that to identify what the problem is. Yeah, so it timed it correctly that time when delay is 0. So it could be something with that. Let's go ahead and make count 1 with delay 12. Currently converting my project from raw command execs to actual libvirt bindings. Oh, nice. What exactly are you building, Jin? I mean, that seems right too. Maybe this is working and I'm just like... My coffee got cold and now I don't want to drink it. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi. So it's like 12 seconds. Let's change it to 30 and see if it goes to 6 seconds. Does 1.1 have a delay? Or we wait for this to go through. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi. Yeah, so it cut in half. So it's something to do with it's something to do with how I use this estimate duration value. This should be 32 milliseconds. Yeah. Okay. Estimate duration. That's number of ticks. Prepare duration. Plus that. Okay. Those are all the sequencers. Total duration of the weapon activation sequence, prepare plus sequencer execution isn't exactly correct because the sequencer estimate duration isn't exactly correct. That's how long it has to live for that. Well, that's just for that, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Hold on. We had this other one. Config weapon, estimate duration. Here we go. So it's the prepare duration plus the sequencer duration. Number of ticks. Currently converting my project. Oh, sorry. I'd call it a separation context manager powered by VMs, CubeOS, but for regular humans. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd love to have a better like install setup and development environment setup. So I'm not like breaking my not breaking my OS every time I upgrade. Okay, with weapon duration, which comes from this, plus the cooldown. Plus we have some jitter, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be set to 0. So it should just be these two. Yeah, because this jitter is going to be 0. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so it's got to be something's just wrong with calculating this, and I'm so confused on why. What did I call it? Sequential? No, it's called like simultaneous. Go through all the sequencers and get the length. Like, I feel like I'm just like, I'm doing something super dumb. Like, this should be a min or something like that. Max. I want the longest sequencer. I mean, this really does seem correct. All right, let's go to the geometric sequencer. And we just return the count. Like, it just seems so simple. I just don't know what's going wrong here. Let's do this. I have a test I could run for this one. I'm gonna set the delay to 1 here. So it's shooting exactly like it was before. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Yeah, something's getting scaled wrong. What's up, Jomi? I like to be able to separate my browser instances into VMs and write coding VMs for different language toolkits. That way I can just delete and recreate VMs from a template or whatever. That would be nice, honestly. The only thing that should persist in the app VM is the home directory. Everything else gets inherited from the template. Yeah, I do like the idea of like just having a folder with all my stuff in it and then everything else being completely independent of that. How was your new year, Jomi? Pretty good new year? Nice. Love to hear it. What'd you do on New Year's Eve? I didn't do anything special this New Year's. I was pretty tapped out from the holiday season by the time New Year's came around, so I just kind of chilled. December just feels so busy with stuff. And by the time like it's about at the end, I'm like, all right, I could do without seeing anybody right now. So this will certainly give us 60. Then we have 60 times 12. Divided by 60. Yeah, so we're just doing 12. Like it's just giving us 12 seconds, but it's only running after. It's almost like the estimate duration should be 0 or something. $12 times 60 times 32. Divided by 60. Wait, what? Oh, times 32 milliseconds. It's 23. Is it 23 milliseconds? Or 23 seconds? I had a week of vacation left, so I took the last week of the year, so I had some time to rest. Nice. That's the way to do it. Actually, the way to do it is to not take vacation during the holidays because everyone else is taking vacation, so you can just slack off. Thank you, Exodod, for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, you're right. 23 seconds. We could watch him do it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I should just run a timer. 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be 23 because the pause is always, the one's always 12. This is so puzzling. Okay, let's go to the shoot. We'll just add a printout in here. Is this right? This gives me ticks. I convert it to nanoseconds and multiply it by milliseconds. Okay. Yeah, I scale it up by that. Okay. Let's rebuild. Get my logs running. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. I'm just gonna add a few printouts and see what the numbers say, and then hope that I'll clarify what's going wrong. Been learning WebGPU again, getting into compute shaders. It's a nice API. You should consider using it for your next game. I will never write another rendering library in my life. Probably. It's like I don't know why. I just do not enjoy it. From like a high level perspective, I like the idea of it, but actually like doing it just sucks. It feels like it's all a bunch of like you have to do like you have to do very specific solutions to solve very specific problems. If that's what it feels like to me. What were we testing? Oh, you were testing this. Okay. So it calculates the total length 60, estimated duration 720. Hold on, let me just. Total length 60, estimated duration 720. This is 60, which is correct. This should be 720. Sorry. For your own sanity, use Bevy or Ebidin next time. Plus, both of those have native controller support included. Hey, now. You stuck it with OpenGL for the rest of your life? Yeah, I'll live with it. I think if I do another game, I'll probably use Raylib. Or something simple. I only know of OpenGL just because it was the first one I learned. So like, it made sense. Okay, but here's what we have. We've got total length 60. We checked that. That's correct because we expected the geometric sequencers to be 60. And then estimated duration should be 12 times 60, which is 720. I just double checked that in the calculator. And then weapon duration. Weapon duration is 23. So that is correct. Oh, I think I have an idea of why this is not working. Hold on. This is doing half of the number of sequencers we have because we have to do 2 sequencers. So the link should be 2. Man, this is such a brain melter. I see what's happening though. We're calculating the right number, but it's not running the entire inner sequencers. Dun, 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 dun. It should be these should be added together. But it needs to be added together for the iterator. It needs to be added together for the iterator, but it needs to use it needs to not be added together for this one. Whew. How would you explain Go interfaces? Interfaces in Go for 2 minutes. What are you trying to learn about Go interfaces? Maybe if you have like a specific question, I can explain it. But it's basically just a virtual function table for a struct, so you can like box it into some other type. Nice thing about Web GPU is it is on Vulkan, Metal, DirectX. Right shader once it runs on everything. That is kind of nice. Can't melt what isn't there. My 3rd year of writing a cube in Vulkan. Yeah, that sounds about right. I like you coding therapy for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, if you have a specific question about interfaces, I can try to answer it for you, but okay, let's try this. Let's fix this bug. But yeah, because the iterator has to go through every single sequencer, it's technically the length of all of them. But in terms of estimating the duration, I think it's we want to multiply the delay times the longest one, I guess. I don't know. Also, it's a software renderer, so if no GPU available, obviously going to be slow. Yeah, I've always wondered how that works because I don't really have a GPU. So like, but I mean, I guess I have an APU, which has like a little bit of a GPU in it. But like, I thought there's just like always this, there's always a OpenGL driver for CPUs, but it just runs it on the CPU. That was my impression, but I don't have a GPU. I just have I have like a CPU that's got like a built-in. It's like whatever the built-in. They call them APUs. It's what is it called? there's a name for this type of, it isn't technically a GPU. I think it's technically considered a GPU, but it's like, it's integrated. Yeah, it's integrated graphics. But you can't have a computer, like you can't render, can you render Linux without a integrated graphics? Don't you have to have? Like you have to have something like that. And I feel like there's always a OpenGL driver for that. I know it's hold method signatures for other types to implement. What are we getting out of it? I mean, you just get abstraction out of it. It's like, I can show you an example of how I use interfaces. I use them for this actually, but it's way too complicated. Let me go to my interpolation library. So I have this interface, and like don't look into it too much, but basically it's just like an interpolation interface. And mostly the one that gets used is this float64. Here's the implementation for it. It's like you have two values you're trying to interpolate between, and the struct defines how we do that interpolation. So you've got like your start value. Let's say it's like, sorry, my cat's like on my mouse. So like a linear interpolation would be this from like 0 to 1, right? That's like a linear interpolation. So then everywhere across that, or technically the 0 to 1 is the output, isn't it? This is like your time. This is your value. Sorry, my cats are fighting on my desk. It's funny. Okay, so you have a linear one, but then you might have like different types, right? You might have like one that does like this, or one that does like this, right? Like eases in or eases out, or like does like an S thing or something like that, right? You can have all these different curves, you know? So each of those can be a different implementation of this interface. But then let's say I want to do some sort of like interpolation function, or like I want to do a sprite effect, sprite color, sprite effect. Now I can define this effect, which has a specific interpolation inside of it. And then I can customize the effect based off of the interpolation. So if the effect is like, I want something to fade out or fade in or something like that, then now I can say like, I want it to fade out linearly, or I want it to fade out, like I want it to ease out or ease in or things like that. You can kind of customize things that way, if that makes sense. And there's obviously lots of ways to do this programmatically, but this is just like how Go does it. Yeah, you separate the what from the how. Boom, 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 boom. Does that help clear it up? Duck typing? There's a duck. There's a duck. Yes, this is going twice as long now because before it was only going half. There we go. Perfect. We have liftoff. Now I just need to change this to be 30, not 300, 30. In fact, every single one of these sequencers I need to go fix now. Boom, 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 boom. What's the duration on these? Count 24. I'll change these to 12. Unless this is bugged. Yeah, okay. This is the one I just did, I think. Bush Frost. Ice Golem Snowflake, we did that one already. And then there's just registers. All right, that's all the ones. Perfect. How long have you been working on your game? Maybe like 4 years now? Anyone playing Hightail? No, I haven't. Four years, I feel old. You are old. Hate to break it to you, Chief. All right, perfect. Those will still work. Let's hit the bush. What was your inspiration for Mythfall? I mean, it's Realm of the Mad God mostly, but also bullet hell games like Archvale and visually Archvale. And then Realm of the Mad God gameplay wise, and then like Enter the Gungeon, like all those games like that I liked. Bum 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 bum. Hightail is Minecraft, right? Or am I a boomer? It's a different game, but very much inspired by Minecraft. Okay. Hytale is a replacement for Minecraft once Minecraft gets shitified to death by Microsoft. Isn't it funny how that works? Makes sense considering the people who made it. Wait, who made it? Small minute things like half slabs and 1 block difference to build height. Oh, okay. It's like more flexible than Minecraft. Hypixel. Oh, they do Minecraft servers as well. It's crazy how long $100,000 a month to maintain the servers. That's nutty. Yeah, I think I've heard of they're like them doing server hosting. Never heard of Hightail until today. I feel like I've definitely seen the screenshot of it. What was the bug with this section of the fight? Was it just the bug with the first section? The Minecraft servers are literally printing money. Yeah, probably. I mean, if there's a bug with this. I knew this when I launched it. I figured it out and then I didn't want to fix it. So I just left it. Have you seen Voima? Looks like it could become a really good building game at some point. I haven't seen that one. It's a bear game?
This is the world of Voima, where you play as a bear,
Where you are a bear.
built with blocks like never before.
I think I don't like that. Actually, that's really cool. Oh my gosh.
Interesting. Snip, snap.
I think I spoke too soon.
Others have already achieved astounding things here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a peaceful life with the bears. Wait, Waltzu, why are you hurting the bear? No, please, no, it deserves to live. No. Stop. No, you're killing its family too.
It's got a double barrel shotgun. Oh my gosh.
He's a menace.
Ugh.
In Voima, there's also parkour. And look at it climb.
You can just climb straight up.
Oh my, that's a mighty strong fan.
He's just got a fan under him. That's hilarious. I think there's a big market for games that are just like let you do fun stuff and like build cool things. I'm confused why the delay time's linked instead of max for the sequence. Yeah, because how the iterator computes, it's like you have this. I have this iterator, and then I have this iterator, and then I have the iterator that holds both of them. And how this one goes through is it pulls one off of this. So it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, but the delay between firing the shots is 0. So it shoots this on tick, on the first tick, and then it waits its delay. Then it shoots this on the second tick, then it waits its delay, then the third tick waits its delay, and then the fourth tick. And because of this like flopping back and forth, the entire length is is both of these stacked together. Right? Like that's the total length of the sequencer. Like that's the length. Has to be both of them put together this way. Because it goes back and forth, zigzagging. But then the duration is half of that, or not half of that exactly. It's the largest one times whatever the delay is between whatever this delay is. Also, their business model sucks because they can't make you pay for perks on Hypixel thanks to Minecraft's EULA, so it makes sense they'd branch out. Oh, when they host, I see, yeah. Every Geometry Dash video I see has people crashing out. Yeah, that's what was confusing me too, because I was thinking these should be the exact same thing, but then I realized the iterator does it one at a time because it's got to can only pull one attack out of the sequencer at a time. So it's just like a confusing little edge case, but I think we fixed it for good now. We don't have to worry about it anymore, so that's nice. But yeah, that was a little bit of a pain to figure out. So I had to go in half all of the counts because they were like tuned. When I tuned them originally, they're like double what they needed to be. So we just finished that. We finished testing all of this. And we can remove this. Excuse me. A little sneeze. Okay. What? What just happened? No? Does this have all my changes in it? I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Fix bug with simultaneous sequencer. It's so weird. My fingers are cold. It's kind of hard to type. Oh yeah, let's fix this bug now. When he gets to his next phase, he spawns these guys, and I think that one of them lingers. I think this is just a transition problem. Like it spawns the next one as he's transitioning out. So let's just fix that really quickly. By the way, is the cursor intentionally slow in the game, or is my browser just slow? What FPS are you getting? The cursor should be whatever your frame rate is. Like the cursor gets rendered at your frame rate, but it drags it's gonna drag a little bit. Like it's not gonna be as snappy as your desktop cursor, but it should be like reasonably close. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Add a notification that tells you to enable hardware acceleration if it's not on. Yeah, I probably should do that. Or if the FPS is low. I don't think I can check if hardware acceleration is enabled. Boom. Or maybe there is a way to check it, because I feel like I've gone to websites and they've said whether or not I have it enabled. Boom, boom, boom. But if your game's running slowly, you probably want hardware acceleration enabled. You can put your cursor into input smoothing thing intended for joysticks so it drags even slower. Just torture the player base. Do you use evil mode? No. I use Emacs vanilla with my own little .emacs file. But I started with Emacs. I didn't start with Vim and moved to Emacs, so I don't really know the Vim keybinds. Yeah, the problem is he spawns this relic, like it just cycles through. Boulder drop, spawn. Oh, this is such a bad pattern. Oh no, this should keep going. No, Emacs Pinky, I have I rebound caps lock to control. Like a lot of people will rebind escape from them to caps lock. I just redid control. Okay, we have this phase. Then he becomes invulnerable and he spawns this. Boom, 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 boom. But he should keep attacking. The problem is he bumps up this counter. He exits when the counter hits a certain value. But he bumps it and then spawns something. How it should work is I need to transition after. Yeah, we just need to do this. That way it'll bump this number and then it'll give it a chance to exit this. Beauty of Emacs, rebind anything and everything. Yep. I do I wish Emacs was a smoother experience. But I do like the keybinds are mostly fine. I've tried Elix, don't worry. My tab is My tab is hyper alt. Oh, my tab is hyper. Alt is control. Is control tap is tap is control X. Control is caps lock. Super. That is. That sounds really complicated. But I don't even know if I can parse that explanation of how your keybinds are. If you search up Minecraft and click the grass block at the bottom of your screen, you can play Minecraft. What, like in Google? Or you have to search it in Bing or something? I've been using Zed, best editor I've used. Comes with Vim mode built in. I've never even heard of Zed. Or have I heard of Zed? Oh, he did it again. Wait, how do you play it? That's kind of cool. Oh, you can mine the wood. How loud is this? Is this super loud? That's interesting. Is it an Electron editor? You have to pay for this? Oh, free. 2,000 accepted edit predictions. Oh, it's an AI editor? from the creator of Atom, which Microsoft killed. It has an AI feature if you want to use it. I have almost 10 EL files loading a startup 5K lines just for all my binds, mainly key chord, key sequence based. Jeez. Yeah, the problem I have with Emacs is it comes with a lot of keybinds already set up. And I think that's in general like fine, but like a lot of stuff, like Control T, like I just think that that's not a useful, it's just not a useful like keybind. Like little things like that, they should just not even have by default, I think. And just let people add it if they want, or like have a checkbox or something. But the big problem I have with Emacs is like just the application is just like so bad at this point. I feel like I just have, it just like it sticks for so long sometimes. CLSP runs in the background and then the thing freezes. Like little things like that just really add up over time. But Catpuccine. Do 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 do. My goodness, they have a lot of freaking plugins. Nope. No, I guess they don't have Emacs keybinds. I'm screwed. Got any more of those AI agents? I love it writing for a game and it sucks. I love it writing for a game on it sucks. They did the best thing ever at the same time. Wait, Emacs or the Control T keybind? Like, honestly, I do use it sometimes because sometimes I'll like typo something and I'll just reverse the letter with like one button, which feels kind of like, oh, that's cool. But logistically, it's just like, I could have just like deleted that and done like this. And like, it's super easy. But instead I'll do Control T just because it's there. The main problem I have is I'll like just the mental switch between browsers and Emacs is really bad. Because I'll Control T and I'll just reverse stuff by accident when I'm trying to open a tab or something. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I don't think anyone will ever build it, but I really just need like a better editor that uses my Emacs keybinds. So I can keep doing what I'm doing, but not use Emacs. And they also have to rewrite all the plugins that I use too. But I think that ship has sailed. Hence why I have 5K lines rebinding for my brain. Yeah. I might have to build build my own editor. Once I finish building my programming language first. Oh, that's cool. The problem I've had with Emacs overlays, the next game written in Newtland confirmed. The problem I have with Emacs overlays is they oftentimes don't emulate like the behavior that you do with Emacs, because like you'll do like Emacs something 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 or whatever, or like little weird sub groupings of commands like that like don't always work. Or like I'll open like maggot mode or whatever you call it, and like none of this stuff's gonna work because there's no like maggot mode for Z or whatever. So like, I don't know. Not that it's terrible. Not that I shouldn't be trying to like learn better stuff, but I have been like vibe coding a little programming language on the side every once in a while, which is kind of fun to do. But Might have to do with your major modes. You can write your own Z extension. True. Oh, you can write it in Go? That's kind of neat. If only Elisp had the speed of C. Yeah. I mean, that could just be the cause. It just sticks so many times. It gets so painful. If I go the addition of enums into Go's compiler, they'd love me. Imagine me submitting that to Rob Pike for code review. Hey guys, I added enums. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, he'd lose his mind. No, I mean, I was just curious. I'm just kind of curious how it does. But my idea was to make something like Go, Odin, and Zig like mashed together. Also, I saw Odin just added. I haven't read it yet though. IO system or something. I swear I saw something about this. What was it called though? Did you guys see this? I thought they just like merged. I saw it on Reddit or something like that. Maybe it's this. Like, but I want to watch this hour-long video about it. Would they do like fibers or something? Why Bill doesn't like async await? It's been fun. Vibe coding my own little language was kind of fun because you get to learn about like how these things get implemented in the compiler, but you don't really have to like program it yourself, if that makes sense. It was non-blocking APIs through callbacks. Okay. That's like the original, that was like the original multitasking thing. I mean, that seems like a fine proposal though, like doing it that way. I'm not a huge fan of async await either, to be honest. I also feel like you can get like 90% of the way there just by having some like some like cooperatively multitask fiber system in your language. But I don't know. No fibers, just callbacks. Yeah. Color functions in general are bad. Yeah, I kind of agree. Also, I read a little bit about the Zig one. I did read about the Swift one as well. Did I read it? No, I read about how Swift has like annotations for objects that are going to be treated as like reference counted or something like that. What's the Zig? Zig new async methodology. I mean, don't you just pass async await, or don't you just pass the IO object to every single function? Which I don't really understand. I don't understand why it's not just function coloring, really. Don't talk about Swift. Joe, he might marry you by accident. I didn't say I thought Swift was good. Something, I hate just reading comments, but I don't know how to find... Like, I don't know how to find like where's like the explanation? And I want to watch a video. Oh, I did skim this earlier. This is pretty recent as well. Okay. But I think they're doing like async. One and a half colors. Yeah, because you end up just passing, you just having your function require the IO object, I think. Like it has to pass this IO object now to do any IO stuff. But I think they still have to have the compiler has to rewrite functions to handle asynchronous IO calls, I think. But I couldn't really find any info about that. Oh, is this something different? Asynchronicity? I don't know. I don't think the Zig async IO stuff has even been launched yet. Like, I think it's all still, or maybe it's been merged. I can't remember. There's too many languages these days. But yeah, I feel like if Go had like memory arenas, enums, and no garbage collector, I would love it. Since 16.0 not released yet, I think. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I was interested to like see how they implement the back end of it, because my understanding about async is like my understanding about how an async. I don't even know if I can draw this. I don't even know if I understand it enough to draw it. My understanding is this: this is your function block. You have some section up here, and then you have something that needs to be awaited, and then you have like the section down here. My understanding is the compiler has to convert this into 3 different chunks. One, I don't know if we call this a 2. And guys, take this as a grain of salt because I'm not 100% sure about this, but that's supposed to be a 3. My understanding is it's got to rewrite the blocks into this. It's got to build some small little state machine struct, which holds the context of the function, and then builds a state machine. So like if you're in state 1, you're doing the 1 block. If you're in state 2, you're awaiting the 2 block to finish. If you're in state 3, you're doing the 3, like you're doing work, right? This one's awaiting. Well, that's my understanding. It's got to build one function and a context wrapper struct so that it can enter and exit this and do whatever work it's allowed to do at the time. So it enters the first time, it's in state 1, does all the work on the first block, and then it sets up some like what are they called? Some like I don't know, e-poll, or they do some kind of polling thing, or they do some kind of event thing that triggers this to get finished. So then 2 gets finished kind of from the scheduler. The scheduler says like, okay, 2's done, and moves it to 3. And then the next time it gets re-entered, it can do the 3 block because it's got the value for this. So my understanding is the compiler has to rewrite your functions to do this operation. And that's how async works under the hood. So I don't know, like, does Zig do that? They must, if they're going to add the await, async and await stuff. But I just don't know. Zig 0.16 now has the juicy main. Go back to Rust. Do like me and avoid lifetimes for the most part. I don't know. I can't do Rust. I'm sorry. I put all my rendering code into multi-threaded async. Want to see how far I can take it? Like in Zig, is that in Zig or? Go needs enums and a match and removal of nil from the language to be Rust, but not annoying. Yeah, I mean, like that was kind of like what my language idea was. I keep going back to Rust. I just, I understand the appeal of Rust. I just don't like the language. I don't know how to explain it other than that. I just don't like the syntax. I don't like the features that they have. Other than like the bar checker stuff's kind of cool. Like the bar checker is like the only thing I think is cool from Rust. And maybe like a few other things, but like I don't like the macro system. I don't really like async await that much. Your understanding of async await is correct. Okay, good. Thank you. Because you're never sure when like, because I've never like looked into it too far. But like my understanding is like, this is like a pretty complicated process because you can think about like, well, now I have this async await block, but let's put it inside like a for loop. And now the compiler's got to rewrite this whole async await thing for like 1,000 iterations or something. I just don't like it. It seems like it could expand in complexity really quickly. So I can see the callback method being super appealing because it's like you just pass your function pointer into it, and when this finishes, it just spits it back to you, right? So like function 1 goes to 2, and then 3 is in your callback. And like that seems super trivial to implement. It's like because you're not really implementing anything, you're just like passing a function pointer around. So like that seems super reasonable. And then my understanding of fibers is also pretty bad, but I think you basically make like there's some way to make like a virtual stack, and you can have like your own little functions that run on this stack, your own little function context. And then you can have some larger scheduler operator that can like switch between all of your functions on one thread. But it's cooperatively because these functions have to have like a yield inside of them. And they call a yield, which the compiler could insert probably. But these call a yield, and then it comes back to the scheduler and it picks another function. But Sixbane now optionally has IO allocators, args, API that was passed to the main function. I see. Not a fan of callbacks. I can just see how you can get into callback hell with callbacks. Because when I wrote JavaScript a long time ago, and I remember just getting in that situation all the time. This was before async await. It was just callback stuff. I keep writing Rust and now somehow comfortable with the language. You managed to get a role doing Rust for some work at this point? Oh, that's cool. You need a few years of deep psychological trauma from C++ to really appreciate what Rust is doing. Yeah, you're probably right, honestly. I just feel like you can get like 90% of your... I feel like you can get 90% of your memory safety by like memory arenas. Boom, boom. Like I wonder, this is what I wonder. I wonder if Rust is a good first attempt into like building a borrow checker based language, but I also wonder if there's just a less complicated, less like small nuanced version of that people could build. Can build that kind of language. I can vibe code it. Swift now has a borrow checker? Oh, really? You can declare now has a borrow checker. You can declare a type as non-copyable. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Has anyone ever used Jai yet? Is that launched? I was also curious how that one turned out. Can you explain like 5 memory areas and why they're helpful? Yeah, what's a good analogy? It's hard. I guess there's 2 things you could compare it to. You can compare it to like super rigorous manual memory management, and you can also configure it to or compare it to like having a garbage collector running. Let's say you're doing like this graph of nodes, right? So you have these graphs with all these nodes in it. And maybe it's like a pathfinding system, like who really knows what it is? It's something though. So in the manual memory management method, or it's something that you need to like add and remove nodes from this graph, right? So in the manual memory management world, whenever you add a new node, you've got to like go through and be like, oh, I'm adding this one, so I've got to like malloc. I've got to do a malloc now. And let's say I'm deleting this one. I need to like take this one. I need to go find all the ones sub that one because they're going to be like orphaned. I need to free this one. I need to free this one. So it's like you have to manually know which ones you're adding and freeing. And then the GC world, this is solved for you, right? Because you've got, like you add this one, it allocates it for you on the garbage collector. And then you free, let's say you free this one, right? These get freed automatically for you. And the garbage collector, the next time you allocate, it's gonna like go through and say, oh, like these ones are orphaned. Like it's gonna know that they're orphaned already because nothing's pointing to them. And it's gonna free that memory and reclaim it. So then you have like the memory arena version, which says like, I'm just gonna make an arena, which is just a like large buffer of memory. It's like a big byte buffer kind of. And every time I build a node, I'm just gonna like stack the node there, node, 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 and I'm never gonna free them. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to allocate all the stuff I want. So I'm allocating things. Let's say I add this one down here, and then let's say I free this one, but we've like pushed all these nodes onto this list kind of nodes. So you have this node list, and you end up deleting them, but you don't delete them in the allocator. You just like keep allocating more and more and more. And this thing just gets as big as it needs to be. And then at the very end of it, when you're done doing whatever work you needed to do, you just free all of it. And what the free looks like is you're kind of at like this insert point. Next node you add, you're gonna put it there. All the free has to do is it just has to move this pointer all the way to the front. And now all your memory is like free just by like subtracting a number or like setting a value essentially. So it ends up just being a really, really cheap way of allocating and deallocating memory. When you kind of have like a limited problem you're trying to solve, you need to allocate a bunch of stuff for it. And after you're done solving the problem, you don't need to do anything else with it. So like you can see how this applies to game loops because you've got this loop that's going to happen one every 60 seconds or something like that. And let's say you just do all of your allocations in Arena and then you free them up at the end of the frame, or not all of them because some stuff has to persist, but every single little math thing you have to do, every single time you have to like search for the neighboring tiles when you're doing a tile map check or something like that. You just allocate it to your arena, and at the end of the frame, your arena cleans up automatically, and you've kind of like reclaimed all of your temporary memory just in the snap of your fingers. You can see it there. You can also see it in HTTP handlers, where like you've got a bunch of requests coming through, and all of the requests are completely independent of each other. So they all need to go through this like function path of like looking stuff up, calling databases, doing whatever they have to do. So imagine you just like attach an arena to the start of all of those. I keep writing an M for some reason. Suppose you capture all of these inside of an arena, and then by the end of then when the HTTP handler function returns, the arena just cleans itself up, because most of the stuff you have to allocate when you do this is temporary anyways. So a lot of the new like modern languages take this approach, like Zig takes it and Odin takes it, and just because most of the time you allocate temporary stuff when you're doing work, and then you have a few things that kind of like, you kind of have like a few like pointer soup type things which connect your systems together, if that makes sense. Yeah, so you can just see how like it's such a like obvious it's such an obvious like lifetime point. Like if you want to analogize it to Rust, where you have like these individual lifetimes inside of functions, it's like, well, I know that there's this one really obvious lifetime at the start of my HTTP handler, so like I may as well just free it all there. Yeah. J-Blow is too weird and hostile. Makes me want to actually spend time working Oh, to make me want to actually spend time working on his ecosystem. Yeah, I haven't seen that much with Jai, other than the syntax looks kind of like Odin and C++, like a combo of Odin and C++. And I don't really like C++ syntax that much. I heard the comp time stuff is really powerful. But I don't know, I'm kind of torn on comp time. I kind of feel like, and also I heard it was really, really fast compile times, which is surprising if the comp time system is so powerful. But what was I gonna say? I kind of feel like comp time is gonna be like a double-edged sword where things are gonna get like I don't know. I just don't know if someone's built something big enough with comp time for it to be like, for them to really like irk out all of the issues they're gonna have. Like I can just see how your compile times are gonna balloon and but maybe they have solutions for this. I just don't know. It's just, it's one of those things that I've never done, so I don't really know how good or bad it is, you know? But like, I can just see how like not dynamically, because you do it at compile time, but by building structs at compile time, it gives you generics, but it also lets you like really confusing and weird stuff, which isn't obvious to other people that read your code. So I wonder if like that's just going to be a problem. It sucks because I want to like investigate these languages more. I just don't have like time. I wish I had just had time to like burn, but here I am doing I'm like reading about so many languages without actually solving this one bug that we were trying to solve. All right. Okay, we delete this one. He spawns it, then he goes. Boom, boom. Yeah, we went down the rabbit hole there, didn't we? Okay. Yeah, we were this one. Okay. Oh, I'm doing it double. That's what it was. Spawn minions, transition next. Spawn minions, transition next, and then... Okay. Did I save? Yes. I do think comp time's a super cool idea though. And I did add it to my little vibe coded language. Oh, like a really basic variant of it, I guess. One thing I also don't like is that these guys keep spinning. Oh, I never changed the sprite for those. Oh well. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then he transitions perfect. Okay. What do we get? Willpower shard. Nice. All right. Fixed bug with ice golem. Oof. All right. Okay. That's gonna be the end of the stream, everybody. I'm gonna go eat some lunch now. I am starving. But we got a good amount done. We got some new status effect stuff, and that's coming in nicely. And then a little bit of bug fixing as well. But gonna go play some more Hightail. All right, buddy, you have fun. Thank you. Thanks for stopping in. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good time.